As you could please, my lord, we're sorry for this slight late start. Some of the accused were late this morning. My lord, I had a discussion with Advocate Ngomezulu. There's an exhibit EE that has been handed up, and yesterday we made a copy of the original of exhibit EE, the proceedings in the Boksburg Magistrate Court. I've made copies to my learned friend. We just beg leave to hand up a copy of the original of exhibit EE.
Okay. Everybody's got a copy. The other councils, do they have a copy?
Yes, they do, my lord.
Okay, thanks. Yes, Mr. Mgomezo, you're still under oath.
All right, Mr. Mkhane, before we proceed, I just want to take us back to the question which you asked Mr. Mdanzi about his whereabouts on the 26th of, I need to clarify something, on the 26th of October 2014.
26th of October 2014,
when he answered you, according to the instruction that I received, he said if he was not at work, he is at home. At work, according to his instructions, means he could be working or he is at the compound in the workplace, inside the company where he's working. What's your comment on that?
That's how he put it, but then for me, when he said he was at work, for me it implied that it was in the mind. Would you think
if according to you, you thought he was inside the mine, he was working, you will not conflict with his version that he was at his workplace, and if he's not at his workplace, he is at home. You won't conflict with that version.
If you can explain, what do you mean when you say home?
In KwaZulu-Natal.
I do not remember him telling me he was in KwaZulu-Natal. What I remember was that he told me that he was at work. I'm
all right. But that is not okay. Let's leave it for argument. The issue of when actually you conducted your investigation from his workplace, you met outside with Brigadier and Sergeant Mkhale, and they departed. They left with you and accused them, the late Mr. Sergeant Mabena.
Yes, we did live together, but we parted ways along the way. Yeah, was sahamba what do I get?
Yes, but the main thing is that for the reason of booking out the accused number 2 was done by going to verify whether you went to verify his whereabouts of the 26th of October 2014. That was completed.
That is correct.
Why was he not taken back again after you verified such information? Why was he not immediately taken back to Pretoria in the North Police Station? Instead, you had to book him in 2:30 early hours in the morning.
Right was a malary and a garsaru petanshum, Adjournment, I think about the ceiling. Actuality, we are low for a problem.
No, he did not have a problem going with us because when we asked him if he was okay with going with us, he agreed because also there was the problem that if he was taken back to the cell, he was going to be locked up alone and was going to get bored. So I was ukuhamba nathi wasambuza ukuthi anankinga yini uthambe nathi ngoba kusekhona umsebenzi esawenza wavuma cha singahamba kodwa ke futhi kwakunale nkinga ukuthi ufa sambuyisela le emaseleni wayezohlala eyedwa abulawe isizungu.
Mr. Mkhan, accused at that time was under your custody.
That is correct.
He had no options.
If Salah Dumela, never should fish a Jomarao. They'll tell me, Shabel, we like Dumela, Ramutal Mahala. Now, so she did rail with Jarmarello or high to Tamarena, kind of simple way. We'll have the Chilman Juan.
Well, to tell you honest, if he wanted to refuse, he could. But when we asked him if he wanted to, if he was okay with going with us, because we told him that we've still got other things to do, he agreed, especially also because it was already evening. This was Katige. When I'm
I don't understand if you say he was going to be bought. What do you mean by that? In the cells.
What is the name?
Which are horror. Danzi Obasa Sherry said about Validity, tolerity,
What I'm saying is that Ndanzi was not sharing a cell with others. He was staying alone in his cell. And because I would Ndanzi, I shall I
So let me not waste time about things that are not that material. The instruction that I have is that immediately after you departed with Colonel Gilinda, after you conducted your investigations,
You assaulted accused number 2.
Who assaulted him as he says?
I'll get into that. Because it is your evidence. I'll get into that, Mr. Mkhwale. It is your evidence that you had to do your own other investigations. As a result, you even had to go to Albertine.
I get a
Is that so?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to reach Albertine the kids in
Like I told you, Albertine is on the way and we went via Albertine.
All right.
Joma saying she know we go Albertine. Who sent it?
I'm not referring to the evidence where you said when you booked him out with the purpose of transferring him to First Lawyers Court. I'm not referring about that. I'm referring to the event where, after you concluded your own investigation regarding his whereabouts, Colonel Kininda and Sergeant Mkhale left and you drove with accused number 2. You indicated during cross-examination that you had to do other investigations. As a result, you had to go to Albertine or First Lawyers.
Brigadier Kininda, le Sergeant Mkhale, vale ba sepile. Jale lena lile la sipla limla tufaja ka or level Sergeant lena le mshume ebe linya go idia and bore mo level Sergeant fiti Albertson lia go First Lawyers. That is correct. Ya kule tene sote. Lapho ke sathi uma sesiqedwe kwenza umsebenzi wahamba Brigadier Kininda hamba no Mkhale and then ke thina ke sihamba ngemoto sihamba nomsola ngoba kusekhona imisebenzi esasifanele siyenze ilapho ke sadlula khona ngase-Alberton siya endaweni yase-First Lawyers.
Yes.
Wathi mephendula ke wathi yebo kunjalo.
These people that are escorting you are from Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Police. Is that so?
Ke nnete hore batho ba ne ba lefeletse ja ke batho ba tswang kwa Ekurhuleni Metro. That is correct.
The participants that we were talking about yesterday that were involved in the assault and torturing of accused number 2 are the officers that assaulted accused number 2 immediately after you concluded that investigation about his whereabouts.
Well, he has to explain where he was assaulted, by whom, at what time, because I can't answer something that I do not know.
It's fine. I'll give the full version of accused number 2, but at this stage, I want to demonstrate before this honorable court that I said to you, you booked him for 17 hours. You conducted that investigation more or less 3 to 4 hours, if I can give you that benefit. But for more than for the purpose for which he was booked out to verify that information, you were satisfied. Now for a period of almost 10 to 12 hours, you were still with the accused. What investigations was that?
So busy guy one. Like I have already explained, there were other cases that we were following up, and I have already mentioned that there were such cases that were investigating. But I'm unable to tell the court about them because we are still continuing with the investigation. Job was saying Shiloh, very economy amatsala ebesisa zama ukuqhubeka nokwaphenye kodwa ngeke ngikwazi ukutshela inkantolo ngawo ngoba ke asikaqedi uphe
at the expense of the rights that are protecting accused number 2.
Gore fawe le mshumale na ele hore jale le sinyadi tukelo jamula tofacha
gana na le na ara sinyadi tukelo jamula.
No, I do not agree with you. We did not infringe on the accused right.
All right.
Sorry, Sorry, sir. Sergeant, you're saying you won't tell this court about the investigations you were doing because you want to maintain confidentiality or secrecy.
No, on can't bolela o mongwe wa bona molati e le gore o nyaka o tseba.
If the court insists on knowing, I can inform the court about those cases, one of them.
Not all of them.
Not all of them,
why
but
not,
some of them.
Why not all of them?
Some of them are still sub judice.
I'm going to order that you must disclose that information, all of it, okay? But you must disclose it in the form of a note, all right? And that note will be made available to all the counsels here, even Mr. Baloi, and it will be kept by this court. And I take it all these counsels who are here, they are sworn to secrecy because they are officers of this court. They don't have to go and divulge this information anywhere else. Are we understood?
Court business.
Understood, my lord.
Thank you, my lord.
Okay.
May I proceed?
Yes.
Yesterday we talked about the dockets. Are you in possession of the dockets under case number 163 of 10/2020? The dockets under 53 of phosphorus, 534 phosphorus. Are you in possession of such document?
My honorable docket. Would the docket 163 of 10 of 2020? Rapidly 534 Yagua phosphorus.
I got this one. I in charge of John Brigadier Guinea, the Nova Sea or Lavan.
I do not have those documents because the person that is in charge of those dockets was not available yesterday. Kangwazi kuleta lawo angawo madocument ongaphethe ngoba lo muntu ophethe lawo madocument ubheka emgeneni bengekho izolo.
So in other words, your cross-examination in respect of that part of evidence must be stood down until such dockets are, because you are the investigating officer.
Yes, respectfully so, because we cannot speak about a case if the docket is not present. Number dockets in our 100 and then MD 163 of 10 of 2020, no 534 yes of dollars. I go to Obama and Jengoba. I welcome to get an escort Kuruma and Galama to get Utawe.
Thank you, sir. As long as you are going to provide the court with such document, let me just clarify this aspect. In the matter where accused number 2 was charged with possession of drugs, was that matter not placed on the roll?
That is correct.
The matter for where accused number 2 was charged with possession of unlicensed firearm, accused number 2 was acquitted. Is that correct?
That's why I really vacancy place for social scour. It's only looking at Ngasi Vulele or Udera Gayona. Our Italian Valley is in the Mufokishvari.
Like I have already said, there is. We are still busy with that with that docket. I cannot talk about it in court, but we are still conducting investigations regarding it.
I'm not sure if you are referring to the same. I'm referring to the matter in Shabani court.
I can tell about the
our village or a cooking case. You
are confusing things. I thought you were talking about the booking issue.
Okay.
And I meant to mention that this is name and come to put my Iindaba as a booking.
In booking, okay, let's get clarification from there. In booking case, what is the charge of its accusation?
Possession of unlicensed ammunition. Possession of unlicensed ammunition.
Possession of unlicensed ammunition. We should take a
which court did he appear to?
Shabani Rustenburg.
Shabani in Rustenburg.
That matter in Shabani in Rustenburg. What is the status of this matter?
He will not guilty and discharged.
He was found to be not guilty and he was discharged. I was telling
yes. Now, the matter of Foslora's court, that's possession of drugs. Is that correct?
That is correct. Case as a Foslora's case is
is the same matter that was not placed on the roll. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So, after that matter was refused from the court roll, it cannot be regarded as a pending matter against accused number 2.
Jane kaoneta haewe ila khoro ba se ji kata ba mula to fatwa asancheng go araba moyo.
Which law is that, sir? Sorry, I want to hear from Mr. Ngomezelo first. Which law is that?
The matter is not pending. The matter is, it depends on the investigations. I'm getting to the investigation part of the matter.
Yeah, it was not enrolled.
It was not enrolled.
So?
Let's look at the period in which it was refused from the roll. If we look at the period up to now.
No, you can argue with him. I was just saying, I know no law which says
that's where I was
law will be enrolled again.
Yes.
Okay.
It can be re-enrolled. But the most crucial part of the enrollment would not be arresting accused number 2, but to summons him.
We decide that.
It will depend on how the prosecutor decides on the matter.
But at the present moment, accused number 2 is in court for one case.
That is correct.
That's correct. So let me put the version of accused number 2. Accused number 2 prior to his arrest on the 16th of June 2020, he received a call from a lady who offered him employment. The prefix numbers the prefix numbers were 012.
The number Jagopide Jamogala 012. Numbers phone
the accused responded by saying, I am working, I don't need a job. Later, he was called. After that call, he was called also by the same lady who introduced herself as Mukhal. Mohola. Yes. Who informed accused number 2 that he is a suspect in the murder case of Senzo Meyiwa. And she requested the full address of accused number 2. Accused number 2 furnished the officer with his full address. According to his knowledge, that's the reason the police officers came to his arrest, to the place where he was residing.
The police are needed la fita kwa adula. Inga kwa ke police ala Africa la shala ko.
On the 16th of June 2020,
Kali 16 June 2020, ngomhla 16 June 2020.
Police came to his house, to his
police
place.
ala fita go adula ma police Africa la shala ko.
He opened for the police.
Wela ba bulela ba vulela.
Then you ask if he is not Siyanda Butelis.
Jale wena wa wuchisha hora na ase na Siyanda Butelis. Wase abuza wena agiyena inu Siyanda Butelis.
Then he was requested to bring along his identity document.
And wele akuchwa hore anche ID yaga well.
Can you comment on that?
Fela we bea ka tsela e a ke tshepe gore mabane ke le fetotse ke tlo le fetola gape.
And I'll answer you like I answered you yesterday. So pendula what I said penduli so.
A ke tshepe gore Sergeant Mogola a ka mo founela ke sa tsebe.
I don't believe the Sergeant Mogola would call him without my knowledge. And call out to Sergeant Mogola. I'm phoneela go minangas.
Le swantse ke tsebile gore mo founetse so a ke tsebe gore ena motho mo founetseng ke mang.
I was going to know if she had called him. So I really do not know who it was that called accused number 2. I think so was me now about what to set and Mogola phonela. Mind you, I'm asked to buy no phonela I'm sorry to be.
Ga re tse boletse gore molato e belwa ibolo ka mogare wa crime intelligence driven operation re shumishitse ditlhodi tša rena go menyaka gore o kae.
Like I have already explained that this case fell under our cold case unit. We used our informants to help us to know exactly where he was. The cold case. Ngasasebenzisa-ke ababesiza ngophenyo ukuthi sazi ukuthi ulaphi.
Le re fitlha kwa bula ke motšhetša rena go wena bongane ntanse ya re ee.
When he arrived and when he opened the door, we asked him if it was indeed Bongani Dance, and he confirmed that he was. And most fear that I some Gambos, we are not Bongani Dance. Yeah, boys, Vumutia, we are.
We got some musical already very suggested work.
I wasn't going to call him about with another name because we already knew his proper identity, who he was.
That is why I was generally.
And then again, give me getting a gamma, which is a success, which is a like a Uber.
May I just further inform you that
sorry, you want to continue, sir?
Yeah,
continue.
That is where the ID book comes in. That confirms who that he was indeed commander.
So, I dance.
Yes, no finished.
Yes, I am finished.
All right. So, when he took out his ID, he insisted that you should also produce your identity to confirm that you are a police officer.
No, he did not ask for that. That one, he is lying.
Okay. So the polite name for Maka King, what is it?
Linchilele amrelerang la Maka King. It's not speaking the truth.
Will I be wrong if I say pause? Yes, pause. Yeah, if you say pause, instead of a marker, I'll be pause.
Marker has got a lie. Pause of mistake.
Marker in English is lie. Mistake, for sure, in English is a mistake.
So, I understand. But for the, all right. I don't think I'll get into the version of accused number 2. But I don't think you'll appreciate if I put a version to you and say, in conclusion, you are a liar.
Tate Mogomesu, a re go tlhalosetse botse. Sale re thoma molato. Ke nnete e feng a o boditseng yona. Pele mabane go boditse ka gopela bukaneng that a o boditse nnete gore diragetse a se ka bolela maka.
Well, since we started with this case, what truth has he told you?
All right.
Because I've been telling you that he must stop telling you untruths. He must tell you the truth.
So it's for this court to determine whether he's talking lies or truth. But let's move on. You can use that word, whatever you use. However you use it, it's fine. The version of the accused person is that when he requested you to produce the appointment certificate, Sergeant Mabena slapped him with an open hand in his face. And he said, you think you are smart.
In Zulu, I did not see that, and the late Mabena, even from his appearance, it was clear that he was not the assaulting type.
It is the version of the accused that when you arrested him, you did not inform me. When you arrested accused number 2, you did not inform him about the murder case in Nongo. Instead, you told him about the murder case of Senzo Meyiwa.
That is not true. Umsola othi-ke uma ezoboshwa akazange atshele lutho ngeqala lokubulala lakwaNongo, amtshela ngeqala lokubulala likaSenzo Meyiwa. Uyakuphika-ke lo.
And there and then he denied the allegations that he was involved in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa.
Ale boja ga fetsa nako ha raloka ka nako o ile a botsa yena ha tsebisetse ka go bolawa ga Senzo Meyiwa.
And the Bolela Judge 16.
I'm referring to that.
Yeah, that is not true.
He will come and tell the court that his rights were not explained. Immediately thereafter, you handcuffed. You placed him under arrest.
the handcuff affair.
Sorry?
I don't know how many times I have to repeat this.
Samatomo, the moody cherry to go to Jaga,
I told him his rights, and I said that I first told him in English, and I then reiterated in Tswana, and then I reiterated in Zulu again. Angazi ukuthi ngizoyiphina kanjani le nto ukuthi ngamtshela amalungelo akhe, ngamtshela ngesiNgisi, ngase ngimtshela ngolukaMthaniya, ngeSitswana, ngase ngimtshela ngolukaMthaniya.
And you further showed him the photo of the person. With the tattoos.
Whose picture are you referring to?
And a gold teeth. Gold tooth. Whom you alleged that it resembled accused number 2.
No, we did not show him anything. I dispute that.
So you took him to the Pretoria North Police Station.
That is correct.
And no right to further explain to him.
He is lying again.
Police station.
When we arrived at the police station, must be a experience of a I took the 14A book, which has a serial number. I thought it is not a 14A in a number. I told him he's right again. I used the English language, Zulu language, and the Tswana language.
So can I have the SAP 14A? Can you have it, please, so that I can clarify something?
Yes, I have it.
All right. Can you please read paragraph 2C for me?
Paragraph 2C.
Here we have the right to be detained under conditions consonant with human dignity, which shall include at least the provision of adequate accommodation, nutrition, reading material, and medical treatment at state expenses.
Nelungelo lokuthi uvalelwe endaweni egcina isithunzi somuntu.
Can you explain it in Zulu?
Kukuba ukakhona uyithalusa ekwenkasizo.
Unamalungelo akuhlala endaweni le because ndiki mixala kasizulu, that's why ndikubolela kasizulu to lesizulu. Ngase
Well, I was mixing Zulu and English, and when I was talking about this.
All right. Which one maybe you can best read it in English and best translate it or interpret it in Zulu for us?
unelungelo lakuthola umemeli wakho lo mthandayo kuthi or sikutholele lememeli lo uzobhadala estate uhulumeni and unamalungelo akuthula lento uzoyikhuluma izosebenzisa enkantolo mase ikhuluma.
You are stammering.
That's why we get to like English, Sesotho, mixed languages. Sesotho is not my mother tongue.
I am bound to stammer because that's why I actually said that I used all this language, English, Zulu, and Setswana. Because Zulu is not exactly my mother tongue. Mr.
Mabena was a Zulu speaker.
Mabena he spoke in Ndebele. Why could Miss Ndebele?
But Sitebele is closer to Zulu.
See, Ndebele, see how Phyllis is Zulu. Well, I can say that, but I can't really confirm because this is not my language. But
let's move on. On the 17th of June 2020, accused number 2 was booked out from his cell into a boardroom.
Got to 17th June 2020, but my was studying Bamisha boardroom. Umsolo ngitha 17 June 2020 wakhishwa eSelinakhe wayofakwa eBoardroom. That is correct,
and the participants there were yourself, Mabena, Paula, and Gininda, including accused number 2.
But Mabena, Mohola, Gininda,
Mr. Gomezu, are we rehashing the very same? I've been keeping quiet, but you're asking the very same questions you asked yesterday. That's why this witness keep on saying, I'll respond to you or answer to you the way I answered you yesterday. So I just want to know, are you rehashing it again?
But I must not place the version of accused in full.
You have done so.
Because, my lord...
No, you can do it. I'm just telling you, you did the same yesterday.
Yes, but my lord, let me just be clear, so that we are in a common page here.
Yes.
When I was cross-examining, I was picking certain versions that will fit the question under cross-examination. I reserved the full version of accused.
Okay, fine.
Hence, there will be such a repetition of answers.
Okay, fine. You can go on.
Thank you. Outside the boardroom, there were police officers.
I'd like to reiterate again this question. Which police from where?
Then accused number 2 was interrogated about the death of Senzo Meyiwa. And he denied his involvement.
That is correct.
And he was further asked about his whereabouts on the 26th of October 2014.
And I reiterate, it is true. That is correct. So like we are members of it want to wind up in Oswela 26 October 2014 not
yes, his answer was that if he was not at his workplace, he is at home, referring to KwaZulu-Natal.
And only I don't think it's
ke tlo le araba gape ke boletse ka re mankgapelanyana ya KwaZulu-Natal a go gopola mpotša o mpoditše ka go ba le mošomong mining.
I'm going to reiterate that I do not know he didn't mention anything about KwaZulu-Natal. I don't remember him saying anything about that. What he told me about was that he was at work. KwaZulu-Natal angikhumbule esho lutho ngayo engimkhumulayo wathi wena wayesemsebenzini ngalelo langa.
And may I confirm this with accused number 2, my lord? It's very crucial. Thank you, Madam.
In the courtroom,
you asked, or Brigadier Kininda asked accused number 2 to take off his clothes.
Brigadier Kininda, wela ko ba molando fatsha gore wa bo.
Ke tlo le araba gape Mr. Mgomedi ba bane ke boditse ka Brigadier Kininda o ba se yo and Brigadier Kininda a se motho gore a ka tlhapaola motho a mapola diaparo ka sekgowa ba re it is inhuman to do that.
Well, I'm going to repeat again that Brigadier Kininda, for starters, was not present there. And number 2, Brigadier Kininda is not the type of person that is going to ask to take clothes off a person because that is inhuman.
No.
So answers of the foot Brigadier Kininda, why engekho lapho? And the futhi ke Brigadier Kininda akulohlobo lomuntu ongakhumula umuntu impahla akunabuntu lokho.
My instruction is that accused number 2, he refused because on the basis that there was a woman in the presence of, in his presence.
Mlato fatsha o re yena o ela gana go apula ka lebaka la gore o ne o na le motho wa mosadi.
Ke sa boletsa gape ntanzi a o botse nnete bile wa itantetša ka leleme ka gore e re ka mapola bjang pele ga batho o na maphodisa ka ntle o na le mosadi ga tla re mapolela re nyaka eng re nya go bona eng.
I think accused number 2 must tell you the truth, because how could we ask him to disrobe, to take his clothes off when there were people there, when there were women there, when there were people from outside there? Fanele achaze kahle akutshele iqiniso ngoba bese ungamphula kanjani impahla phambi kwabantu besifazane kunabantu abaningi abangibona balapha.
Then photos were taken from him and asked him about the gold tooth.
Gare dinepe di tšere ke mang.
If he says pictures were taken, who amongst us took those pictures?
I would like you to answer the question because such questions will be covered on my version, on the version of accused number 2.
That is not true.
The following day, accused number 2 was booked out again and taken to his workplace at Sibanye Still Waters in Carltonville, not Western Ori.
Still Waters Western area. It's in Carltonville.
Carltonville, Western area, in our place.
That is true. Western area and Carltonville are in the same area. Yeah, but it didn't, so but he was standing in a culture and business in the way.
That's when Brigadier Kininda and Paula also came, when the human resource manager was approached.
That's when Kininda and who?
And Sergeant Mohola.
Kimo, Brigadier Kininda, the Mohola Bailing, Fita, Liba Tobacco HR.
They came, and you and Mabena approached the human resource manager, including Brigadier Kininda and Sergeant Mohola.
Arikimo, Brigadier Kininda, Fita, Sergeant Mohola, when Libona, Lima Bena, La Bulela, Liba Tobacco HR. That is correct.
That was when a statement was given to you to say accused number 2 was not working on that particular day.
That is correct.
It's my instruction that accused number 2, at the time, everyone came out of the offices to the parking area. Brigadier Kininda was always in and out, completing certain forms. He was in and out, back to the human resource manager.
Go parking, ready to go parking. Brigadier Kininda can go over Hodimudi Fasi, I will go HR and Azape, I will again.
I do not
remember that happening, but Brigadier Kininda will come and answer for himself. So I mean, I get outside when I go Brigadier Kininda to figure as those women.
My Lord, it's 11:15. Can we take a tea break?
Okay. Yes, 15 minutes.
Thank you, my Lord. May I proceed?
Yes.
We were still at on the version of accused person who, after the investigations were regarding his whereabouts on the 26th of October 2014.
We are such a October 2014.
Accused person informed me that Brigadier Kininda went to the hospital of the mine. To confirm if he went to the hospital of the mine and to inquire about his injuries. Then he brought certain documents that were not revealed to him. Can you say something?
I would not want to answer for Brigadier Kininda about those papers that he claims, that he had, because I did not see them. Brigadier Kininda will come and answer for himself about those papers. Again, Brigadier Kininda, I'm a paper toy, why I paid to Brigadier Kininda, so figure and I, as all trust, Galama paper toy or paid.
It is my version of. It is the version of accused number 2 that after that meeting, after that investigation in Carltonville, after he has denied his involvement, he denied that he ever admitted any involvement in the commission of
msola yitwa emva kwalo umlatu patore kamera ora video dini yangyakisho ko kantin video ula hana ora yena wa ameka motor ngiyakubula esenzo msola ke uyaphika ukuthi emva kuphinyelwa lwase Carlton bin waphika futhi ukuthi yena uyathinta kodabeni lokubulawa kaSenzo Meyiwa. That is not true. Yes.
Before he was brought back, booked in at Pretoria North, he was severely assaulted by the Metropolis officers.
The Metropolis officers. I do not know about that.
Question now is, was he ever taken to a dentist to confirm if he had a gold tooth or not?
Yes, I took him there.
What was the outcome of the examination?
I don't remember correctly, but there are medical records in the docket.
Yes. It's my instruction that accused number 2, it was found that he has never put any gold teeth in his mouth.
I can't say no, because we're going to see the medical records inside the docket.
Accused will come and tell the court that on the 19th, on the date the alleged confession was taken, he was assaulted by the Metropolis officers, including Mabena, who was in your company. The Metropolis officers that were present was Buthelezi, Jonathan, and Mr. Mabena, who were involved in the assault and torturing and chopping of accused number 2.
God in 19, actually, we do a job confession of Galana. And that part of our villa to a Pushago Metro, Ratonolima, Happy Lima Ben. But by Lima Mutago Telezi, Jonathan, Lima Bena, and more better Mamutia, Happy Mamutia, Lily. I do not accept that because I don't know anything about that. He would have informed me if he had been assaulted. During a period of where you going, Jelly?
Who was driving the Toyota Fortuner? On that day, he was transported to Morocco.
It
was I was the driver of that car. What we mean, I actually motor Toyota Fortuner. I did Morocco.
It's my instruction that as he was transported, a car parked next to a certain filling station where he saw a board reflecting Albertine.
Joy, samahambisa bafika lapha emisa khona egarage la yabona khona kunebhodi elithi Albert.
fela bontšha gore ge re ya moroka e re sa ya moroka ke dilona tse re sa ya moroka frona ba re ntlhalošetše gore ke nako re sa ya moroka na.
I want an explanation of whether it was when we were still on our way to Morocco.
This is the version of accused. I said I'll cover that during the course of the... You can't pose questions on me.
Uskambushari bushisho hiyo kita kulala kana age tofe fanagathalo so.
A ke re bona mo gomezo ka shumishana mo eksa kushi tshwantse go go botšiša o tlhalošetše ka ge nna o mpotšiša go tlhalošetše.
Mr. Ngomizulu, we are working in cooperation here. So if there is something that I do not understand, I need to ask.
Yeah.
So as much as when you have something you do not understand, you can ask me.
I agree. But the bottom line is I'm putting the version as is of accused number 2. He was stopped, or the Toyota Fortuner stopped next to a filling station, and that's when, a short while, the motor vehicle that was driven by Jonathan arrived.
That is not true.
Yes. It was a Golf, and later on you were joined by Buteles and Mapumulo, who were driving a Nissan, hardboard Nissan, a Baki.
I'm disputing it. Trying a people to
accused was taken out of the motor vehicle, the Toyota Fortuner, and brought to the motor vehicle of that was driven by Jonathan. He was put, so he was seated at the back right side of the motor vehicle of Jonathan.
That is not true.
Sergeant Mabena was on the left-hand side at the back.
Sergeant Mabena left.
Constable Butelezi was on the next to accused, but the door was open for the right back.
Sergeant Butelezi Sergeant Butelezi again
then Jonathan was on his knees on the right, or on the seat, driver's seat, and he pushed that driver's seat towards accused number 2 and pressed him hardly on his knees.
Jonathan, you know, students, some annual colloy, students, some driver colloy, or a sailor, that is not true.
That's when Mabena was using a silver plastic truets which covered the face of accused number 2 with the purpose of choking him, suffocating him.
Asinnete.
That is not true.
And Constable Buthelezi was blocking the accused number 2 from getting out of the motor.
Asinnete.
That is not true.
Then you immediately after that, you actually moved from that place and you went to next to a dumping area. On the way, it's on the way to Albertine.
Dumping site
I want to find out what was I traveling in when I went to the dumping site.
Immediately after that incident of chopping and assaulting, the cars traveled, all of them, to that dumping area.
I'm
dumping area.
I dispute that because I don't remember us passing a dumping area.
All the cars stopped at that area, and that area, there are stairs, stairs with steel poles.
What if we step you are cheap, generally the ballage are cheap. I'm still disputing all of that. I am reiterating.
So the handcuffs were taken out from the hands of accused, which were where he was handcuffed from behind. And one of his hand with a handcuff. The other handcuff was put on the steel pipe.
That is not true.
Then his jacket was taken off.
That is not true.
Then the assault continued.
That is not true.
Brigadier Gininda arrived in a white BMW with Sergeant Mohola and one gentleman with the braces.
Brigadier Gininda BMW show as Sergeant Mohola Limonau
Chris Band.
Over already Chris Band. Mr. Muzu, I still ask you to tell you the truth because all of this is not true.
BMW is a new model. I see model 1 2020.
The BMW that you are referring to is a new model. It's not a 2020 model.
The latest BMW.
No, it's the latest BMW. We are not using it. The BMW
and Brigadier Gininda azanga no atamela.
And Brigadier Gininda never came close.
Yes, when he arrived, are you done?
Yes,
yes, I'm finished.
When during the course of the assault and torturing, there's a device that was also used.
But I have a sense of when I didn't train bilingual.
Accused number 2 was poured with water from his front part of his body. From his front part of the body.
I dispute that.
And he was electrocuted by Mabena, Jonathan, and Buthelezi exchangeably.
I dispute that. I get people to Bamba case, Jonathan Buthelezi, no Maben.
When the plastic was removed and accused number 2 was bleeding from his nose.
I don't know how I'm going to answer you because this continues to be lies. He
informed me that you did not participate in the assault at the garage as well as in the bathroom.
As he explains to you, where was I when he was being assaulted?
It is my instruction that you, at the time, during the course of the assault, you will actually move away from. And you came back and he heard you saying, Yegelan demand.
And
I can say what I'm not giving Munda Sagano Vetiwa.
Mr. Muzo, I don't know how to explain this, but this person was not assaulted. He was not taken out of my car because I wouldn't allow it.
Aska Sinja Horo, na Quabella Maca, Lina Vera, compare and the Untasiri, Loja Wajan, like a mark, and very little Momolo at the Hatish. Was Askar Paragamaka. I will let Azangarano Ranoyama Filo, Azangarama, real estate, Morocco police station.
And he must tell you the truth, he mustn't tell you lies because this is now impacting on your dignity. You are a very dignified person. You mustn't make you say lies because we never stopped anywhere until we went to Morocco.
I'll keep on digging.
Mind you, where's Mama?
That means I'll proceed to carry the mandate by giving you the version of accused number 2. Can we proceed?
You can continue.
After you said Yegelan demand, then there was a meeting shortly after that. He was losing. That's then you drove to Soweto.
That is I'm still refusing, saying that we never stopped anyway.
You, Mabena, and accused number 2 drove into Chris Hane, Baragwanath Hospital. Where you met Colonel Rapad.
No, I'm still reiterating that I'm disputing that.
Then Colonel Rapadu gave the keys to his wife. They were in company of a child.
No, I'm still disputing that. I didn't see that.
It's my instruction that you drove with Colonel Rapatu to Orlando, and you parked at an open area next to ATMs that were no longer functioning.
I'm disputing that.
So the cars parked there. Accused man, he was taken out of your motor vehicle, and the assault continued.
Well, colleague, I am away.
And Brigadier Kininda arrived with Sergeant Mohole.
I do not understand how many times this Brigadier Kanenda arrives, because even that other side, when we were supposed to have been assaulting him, he kept arriving. I'll
request you to deny or admit and substantiate if necessary. When he arrived, he opened the boot of the BMW and sat on the edge of the boot and took out certain documents.
I'm still disputing that.
Yes. He gave these documents to Colonel Rapatu, and that's when accused number 2 was forced to sign those documents.
But you want to I'm still disputing that. And
there were documents, or there were pages that were not stamped with his thumb. As a result, they were completed at Morocco Police Station.
Police Station Morocco. As for me, I did not see that Brigadier Kinenda may come and confirm that if he does remember any of them. So I mean, I don't think born
in the nutshell, both confessions by accused number 2 were not freely and voluntarily given by accused number 2. And it's my instruction, or
Sort of speaking, ukuthi-ke lokuvuma izono kwakhe kabili akazange akwenze ekhululekile.
And my instruction further is that from the day he was arrested on the 16th of June until or up to the 24th, when the alleged confession was taken, he was not in a rightful state of mind because of the assaults.
I don't know what June here, Gadi 24 o mobile usane kamuhelo yamla tu ubasa asi modikelon jeribuzi kaore bafela ba motsi
rana mkomezi le ke yeso o twa ka 16 fla ka 23 24 abetwa ora ona saka o tla phela o ba sa le o atla jaga go tsemelo go ra le lo ba betwa di re menta re mo chupa re electrified aksona Well, so let me put it this way. If this person had been assaulted from that day, from the 16th to the 24th, and being choked and with all that assault, was he still going to be the same as he is now? From 16 from 24, no plastic
sorry, is the word which he used Natlasan apela. Did you use that word? Yes, as an interpreter, I understand most of these languages. Tell it as it is. It says, if you are subjected to such chopping, assault, etc., would he still be alive? Is that how you are putting it, sir?
And in the office, that's his instruction, that in the office in room 2 in Boxback Court, he did not sign any document.
Good office in room 2 or Boxback, I wouldn't be able to know that because when they signed, I wasn't there.
And there's something that I've omitted, which was said by Colonel Rapado at Orlando.
Colonel Rapado.
Colonel Rapado, after he observed the assault and the chopping of the accused person, he asked if this person is still alive.
Colonel Rapado, how can I from a trooper from Yellow Jigamoga without which is over? I do not know about that. I tried to pass.
So he was further, after the 24th at room 2, he said he didn't sign. Then he was taken to another place in Jimistin.
I come around as I signed 24, well, I'm a Java Misha go playing him, which is I do not remember that.
That is next to industrial. It's an industrial area. There are fence around
No, I do not remember about that.
He was subjected to threat, assault until he signed documents.
Well, I dispute that because at the rate at which he claims to have been assaulted, he would have been taken to hospital or he would have said something about it. But I, for one, dispute that. kufanele ukuthi wayiswe esibhedlela mhlambe ke angitshele ukuthi ushaye kodwa ke mina ngiyaphika konke.
That spilled on the papers that you
referring to the Morocco one or the Boxburg one?
My version follows up to Germiston industrial area.
I dispute that. I didn't see any paper that was bloodied, and I did not see those papers.
All right. All right. You said on the 22nd of June.
Sorry. Mr. Commissioner, when you say there were documents which were blooded, what are you referring to? Which documents are you pertinently referring to?
I'm referring to the pro forma and the statement that was taken by Magistrate Mrs. Cronier. Cronier, my lord.
So it was blooded before it was taken to her?
No. In her office, accused denied that he signed any document.
Yeah, right.
Then they proceeded to Germiston industrial area,
right,
where he was beaten, and there were documents that were introduced to the accused. After the assault, there was a spilling of blood on those documents.
Are these the documents which were handed up to court by your colleague, Mr. Baloyi? Baloyi, yes, sir.
My lord,
the pro forma was handed up, remember?
That's correct.
Is that the document you are referring to?
That's the document, but when it was put on Mrs. Cronier about the nature of the documents, that's where I asked whether are there any blood stains in those documents. She said no, because that's when I put the version to say those documents that are in your possession must have some blood stains because blood spilled on the documents that accused number 2 signed. Yes, madam.
Okay.
May I proceed?
Yes.
On the 22nd of June 2020, you said accused number 2 appeared in Shabane Magistrate Court.
On the 27th of June 2020, that is correct. Twenty
22nd of June.
22nd of June 2020.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
He appeared in person. Or physically? Did he appear physically?
That is correct.
Was he represented?
The first time he didn't have a lawyer.
I'm in possession of a document which we agreed with my colleague, my lord. That document is marked VV1. VV1, my lord. We recently received, discovered. It's a recently discovered document.
What is that document? I don't know.
It's about.
Yes.
Are you in possession of this document?
Yes, I have it.
Are you familiar with this document?
Yes, I know it.
Can you please place on record what is on the on the tram lines after the official stamp? On the top part of the document, there are tram lines there.
Oh. Shabani CHC Dental Services.
Shabani CHC Dental Services.
Do you know what is that?
Yes, I know it.
What is it?
Kisuma. It is a document, it's a report from it's a report from the dentist.
Yes. The names written.
Bongani Sandison Tanzi.
It's Bongani Sandison Tanzi. Bongani Sandison Tanzi.
All right. What is more important about this document is the date in which it was completed. Can you see the date?
I can see it.
What is the date?
22 of 6, 2020.
22 of 6, 2020.
All right. Does it? It was signed by the accused.
Yes, it was. You have a sign up.
So when was this document completed? What time was it completed? Do you know?
Yes, I do know.
What time was it?
After Mishija court,
it is after we had taken him to court in Havana.
Is the time stipulated in this document?
I do not see the time. I don't know if you'll be able to direct me to where the time is.
That's the reason why I'm asking about time, because the version of accused number 2 that he was taken to this institution, he never appeared in court on the 22nd of June 2020.
He must stop the truth, because we took him to court before we took him to the dentist.
Before I conclude my cross-examination on accused number 2, may I approach him, my lord, to check if there's something outstanding?
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, my lord. Can you proceed to accused number 1? accused number 1 was arrested on the 30th of May 2022. Remember that?
May 2020.
It's in 13, I think at the 30th. Not the 13th.
It was the 30th, not the 13th.
30th. It's the 30th of May.
That is true. Yabo was from May 2020.
And he was taken to court on the 1st of on the 1st of June 2020.
Well, I shall Horongari 1st June 2020.
Posholwa and the Demgomezul also got 31. 30.
To correct you, Mr. Momizuri, he was arrested on the 31st, not on the 30th.
All right, in order to clarify that aspect, to the state, I think, is in possession of SAP. Okay, besides that, there's evidence from Mr. Tillis that he was present on the 30th of May when he arrested accused number 1.
Can you please come again?
There is evidence before this honorable court given by Constable Butelis, who confirmed that accused number 1 was arrested on the 30th of May 2020 around 1 o'clock in the morning during the day.
Arrest ya kwa Valeria Valeria.
I wasn't there, but I'm reading from the OB book of Valeria and Pretoria.
Yes. That's correct, because it reflects the time in which he was booked in. What does it say? What time was he booked in?
Sunday, the 31st of May 2020.
On top is written the 31st of May 2020. May 2020.
OB number 2187.
OB number is 2187.
Now for 020 to 2 in the morning, 0140.
The time was 20 to 2 in the morning.
Yes, the time of arrest is on the 30th of May. The time for booking in is the 31st of May, the following day, because it was early hours of Sunday morning.
Also regarding the May, but who say illegal matter at the 31st.
No, Kakusha Gabegasi or Ramswaran, like the 30.
Yes, I understand, but I wasn't present when he was arrested on the day of the 30th. Of the 30th.
Yes, that's the reason why I'm taking you on the day of the 1st of June 2020. Were you involved? Did you interact with accused number 1 on that day?
No.
Who took accused number 1 to court?
Which chicken?
I was the one who took him to court. Me now I'm sure I'm in the court.
So do you have the records of the court in which you took him to?
I don't have the records of the court. It's the OB that has that information.
When he was taken to court, were you accompanied by the escort?
It is correct.
Are you aware that on the 30th of May, on the 30th of May 2020, there was an alleged confession that was taken by Colonel Mboto?
No, I do not know.
That means Brigadier Kininda never communicated to you that accused number 1 has or had made the confession.
Brigadier Kininda, how about your No, he didn't tell me about anything.
Now in court, to which date was it postponed to? You know?
No, I'm unable to answer that. It will be only answered by Sergeant Mkhula because it was her advocate. My only responsibility was to take him to court.
Was Sergeant Mkhula present when you took accused number 1 to court?
Sergeant Mkhula, was she present when you took the accused to court? Sergeant Mkhula, no, she wasn't there. We only met in court, me and her.
Before, after the postponement?
I found her in court. She was the one that was responsible for placing the docket.
So, your involvement in actual fact, after because the matter was postponed to the 8th of June 2020. You were not involved on that day?
It is possible that I was present because I was the one who was taking him on most occasions to court.
Yes. Well, after the matter was remanded, to which court was it? To which police station or prison was it remanded to? Or to which prison was it remanded to?
Prison, police station.
No, he wasn't taken to prison, he was taken to a police station. So I was why is a police station?
Do you have any letter confirmed by the station commissioner or commander that he can be kept at Villarreal police stations?
Station commander, I lose one logo, Validity police station.
Sergeant BP Mohola, Otata Mara Mangalo Naramana, Garbacasimuchi, police station at Sapopella, Temishin.
No, like I said, certain BP Mohola will come and tell the court about that, but then the police station was not going to accept him unless we had such a letter. Certain people mkhola uzoza azosikhulumela ngaloko kodwa ke angeke bamthathe police station ukuthi akuzange kube nencwadi ebhaliwe.
On the 5th of June, on the 5th of June, before the on the 5th of June 2020 in Albertine, were you present?
5 June 2020 kwa Alberton. That is correct. Yeah,
What was your involvement there?
For pointing out.
It was taking him out for an identification.
Pointing out.
For?
Why you saw Conora for good I call?
For a pointing out.
Was the Misha they are pointing out.
All right. In Alberton. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, Alberton, Misha Alberton Police Station.
Yes, I took him to the Alberton Police Station. Yeah, let me say Alberton Police Station.
Yes, on the 2nd of June, he was booked out again. Do you remember that?
I do not remember.
Which day was he taken to an old man, the Inyanga?
I don't remember the exact actual date, but it was still in June.
What was it? Were you present?
That is correct.
What was the purpose of going to the Inyanga?
Kile ga botsa ke gadir kininda le ba mo gola bibi gore onya gore bontsha ngaka kwa Palm Ridge.
I was told by Brigadier Kinensa and Sergeant Bibi Mkola that our accused wanted to go and show us a traditional healer.
Palm Ridge.
In Palm Ridge. You can go on.
Ya bonchanga ka yele gore o ile go yona pele Meyiwa abolayo.
He was going to point out the traditional healer that he went to before Senzo Meyiwa was killed.
Will I be wrong? You must tell me if I'm wrong. That the purpose of that exercise was to point out the person whom they consulted prior to the commission of the offense.
O consult wa babedi ke ngaka re ile ngaka re consult wa yana ke o botšiša ke yona nna information ke le go gore o ile re bontšha ngaka gore o dira re jeng a ke tsebe.
Well, consulting a traditional healer is going to see the traditional healer, but what happened when they went to the traditional healer, as far as because I do not know.
Yeah, my question is simple. Can I correct me if I'm wrong according to how you understand it? Ne? My question is, can that be not regarded as a pointing out?
No, if I say pointing out to I want to pointing out the pointing out the formal
No, there were two pointing outs, but this is cannot be regarded as a formal pointing out. It was just going to show us. Like he had actually mentioned that he had actually gone to see a traditional healer. So,
if you say it's not formal, That means it does not require the involvement of a commission office.
nna ke no tšea instruction go tloga go brigadier Gilinda gore mollo gore bontšha ngaka gomme ra sepela motho a ka tlang a hlaloša botse ka arrangement e ntšhi ke Sergeant Mogolo gare ke docket ya gage.
The person that can explain at length about this is Sergeant Mogolo, because this is a docket. When he said, I got the instruction from Brigadier Gilinda that he wants to go and show us a traditional here.
If it is the...
we are lapha. Oh, but Gangi, Chelwe, Brigadier Gilinda, we just can be seen young. My own opinion, I'm going to Napo, Sergeant Mogolo, over there, docket here.
Let's go to the 6th of June 2020.
I didn't go to 6th of June 2020.
Accused number 1 was booked out. From Valeria police station.
6th of June.
6th of June. The 6th.
Yeah.
06/06/2020.
Yes, I can see it.
Was he booked out from Valeria police station?
Valeria police station? That is correct.
To where?
Sorry?
To where? Where was he taken to?
If I remember correctly, we went to his home in Nongo.
For what good reason?
Address verification.
We're going to do an address verification.
So you verified that address?
Yes, we did arrive at his home. It is true.
The 8th of June 2020 was the date for formal bail application. Do you agree?
Sergeant Bibi Mohola,
No, I wouldn't be able to confirm that, because like I said, this docket belongs to Sergeant Mohola. She's the one who may be able to confirm that. Again, I was with this princess out of Moba. You talk at Sergeant Mohola, we are not going to.
But I can't lose the fact that you are working as the investigating team. You are working as a team in investigating this case.
That is correct. Yeah, but since I say
if the accused person, according to the version, I understand you were not present on the 30th of May 2020, but his version is that he was assaulted. I cannot explain much because you were not present on that day.
That is true, I wasn't present.
When he was taken to Fosloras, next to a municipality area, were you also present? After he was booked out on the 31st. On the 31st.
ke mešitše ke bolele ntho e ke ngwetšweng ka mo ka gopola gare ke kgalenyana.
Let me just refresh my mind because it's a long time ago.
Nna go gopola ke Misha court mo e seng go gongwe.
All I remember is that I took him to court and nowhere else. Engikhumbulayo ukuthi ngamisa enkantolo akekho enye indawo ngamisa kuyona.
So I quickly consult with Mr. Thank you, my lord. That concludes my cross-examination.
Yes, Mr. Nisi.
As it pleases the court, madam, I do not have any questions to the witness for now.
When are you going to have questions for the witness?
Yes, madam.
When are you going to have questions for the witness?
This is subject to what the state has alerted the court to. Thank you, madam.
Okay, fine. Mr. Numalo?
Wait, this is the court, my lord. I also do not have questions for now. Because I'm having a difficulty since this witness was not led to the events of the 6th of July 2020. So I was informed by my colleague for the state that the witness is going to be called later. So at that time, when the witness is called again, I'll have cross-examination.
So you're expecting Mr. Baloi to recall this witness?
Yes, that is what he indicated to us.
Let's see. Okay, fine.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, Ms. Mshololo?
Thank you, my lord. My lord, I do have questions, but with the leave of the court, my lord, I would ask, now the time is 2:15. I need to consult with my learned friend, Mr. Mngomezulu, regarding the questions I have, as well as Mr. Baloi regarding the questions I have on the dockets that have not yet been submitted. My lord, as a result of that, I would ask that I resume with my cross-examination at 2 o'clock. I'll just use these 15 minutes to consult with both counsels.
Okay.
Thank you.
What's the time now?
It's 2:15, my lord.
Oh, correct.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Baloi.
No objection, my lord.
So we adjourn until when?
2.
Okay, we adjourn until 2.